If y'all didn't know this, I am disabled for PTSD. And the last time I lost touch with reality, my neighbor Ben looked like one of the three men who abducted me and tried to murder me. And I was convinced that Ben was one of them, even though he's not. And he was even with his wife and kids, standing out in front of his house. And I was convinced that it was Jesse, the other neighbor. I was abducted by a neighbor. I was tricked. Anyways, I began screaming at Ben every foul word you can think of and at the top of my lungs. And this belief that Jesse, my abductor, had moved to that house where Ben lived, even though I knew Ben lived there. It didn't matter. I was out of my mind. I was convinced that Jesse was there. And for 3 months. And my other neighbor, Jeff, he helped me. We compared photographs of Jesse with photographs of Ben. And he was gently able to coax me out of believing that was Jesse, my abductor. But it was after that happened that I was disabled for PTSD, and I began to get EMDR therapy and do different tapping techniques and SFT tapping techniques, which is why I'm actually in the middle of an episode of PTSD right now. And like I began to do that in my mind. I was becoming very paranoid because I received such a horrific trauma for me um, that just goes so deep back to where I was falsely accused of so many things and even imprisoned for things I haven't done, and to be accused of something I didn't do. And in a very public way, I felt very unsafe. And uh, unfortunately, like the last people who were unkind to me in a group setting were the people, my neighbors, who abducted me and took me out into the desert to murder me. I was able to get away and steal a vehicle, their vehicle, which I ended up wrecking and broke my pelvis. And this is out in the middle of nowhere, Modena, Utah. Nowhere to go, really. There's nowhere to go, and there's nowhere to hide. The bushes are all 2 feet tall, and it's flatlands forever and ever and ever. When the land began to suddenly go down, I noticed that down in a gully there was a junkyard. And as I ran for that junkyard, um, I saw a shed. And I thought, if I can get on the other side of that shed, I will be able to get away from my abductors. They had a quad. They had a truck with a spotlight on it, which they had trained on me, and they had a high-powered rifle with a scope on it. But when I got around the side of the shed, that I thought if I could just get there, I could jump into this junkyard and hide. But there was a 4 foot tall barbed wire fence, and I had my little 3 pound mini pincher Doberman dog tucked under my arm, and I didn't know what to do. And Mac was right behind me. I could feel his hot breath on the back of my neck, and I could smell his cigarette beer breath. And as soon as I thought, as soon as I asked myself, like, how do I get on, how do I get over this fence? I evaporated and simply walked through this fence. And at this time, I thought this was God or Jesus or something. And anyways, I was able to jump into the back of this truck and get away, but I went home from that experience with PTSD so bad that the cortisol and other hormones that were released into my body and in my gut and my bowels, it burnt holes in my guts and my bowels, and I almost died from that because over the course of the following year, I got down to 90 pounds and was incontinent and I was an invalid and I had a home health nurse and and it took miracles to bring me back from that, and my doctor said that this was caused by stress and that I am not I'm one of these people. I've been so traumatized over and over, like I can't handle it. It trashes me. So that's what has happened again. I've been having trauma seizures and uh now I'm having a PTSD episode where I thought I was with friends who turned out, these friends didn't want to kill me, but I was character assassinated. And just I'm in this place of being paranoid and like who else is part of this and why are they doing this to me and what's their agenda and oh my god and who's going to do it to me next and who else was a part of it, like how many of my other friends were part of doing that to me. Like probably none. Probably I have really good friends. Like probably none of my friends were part of that, but I don't know. I'm in this state of complete like so I'm just trying to I have to breathe. I have to stop. I have to meditate. And this is what happens to people who have PTSD. This is what it's like, and some of us become aware of it like I am. Like I know I'm in an episode and I know I'm not dealing with reality. And I do feel strong enough to get through it. I am reaching out to friends. I'm not isolating, and I'm about to go do some meditation. And but I did go to the woods today. I did. I went swimming in a river. I'm just grateful for the process. I'm not the victim here. This is a gift, and I'm going to treat it as such. So this is a trauma that's going to be easy to heal because I know what to do, and it wasn't so bad. Like coming home from the desert after those group of people tried to kill me. I had a broken pelvis, and and mentally I was not okay. There wasn't any coming back. There wasn't any deep breathing that could have brought me back from that because I was that traumatized. And so this is a mini one. This is a mini trip. This is a mini excursion. So I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to take care of myself, be kind to myself, love myself, forgive myself and everyone else. And anyone else who's going through PTSD episodes, you know what? If you ever want to reach out to me, man, I'll be one of your buds that you can count on to help talk you through this stuff because I'm not medicated. I don't want to be medicated. I just want to work through it, and that's what I'm doing. So, love y'all.